Hello everybody, we're here in Harare, Zimbabwe, and today I'm speaking with the Honorable Chido Madiwa, former student of mine and now an MP here at the Parliament of Zimbabwe. So Chido, really lovely to be with you and see you again after some long time.
It has been, I mean, it's nice to meet you after so many years.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm happy to meet you, Felix.
Yeah, well thanks for taking some time to speak with me this morning, Chido.
You're welcome.
Well, just thinking back when I first met you 8 years ago,
Sure.
you were a student in my participatory action research methods class when you were working on your master's degree. You know, fast forward 8 years, and now you're a member of parliament here in Zimbabwe.
Sure.
Congratulations, that is fantastic and
Thank
amazing. You know, I find it really amazing, but a lot of people are really cynical about politics, you know, around the world, not just in the U.S. or Europe or Africa. What motivated you to make a run for office?
Okay, yes, you are right. A lot of people look at politics. We all look at politics differently, but I wish everyone knows that politics determines how we live. Politics shapes the way we do our businesses, the way we do any other work is shaped by politics. So, you know, being a civil servant, I was in government for a good 20 years. I used to work for the government of Zimbabwe in the Ministry of Women Affairs then.
Sure.
And you know, 20 years, it's a long time for anyone to be in one organization. For me, okay, it was kind of trying to look for something different. I was kind of looking at my work as becoming routine. So I wanted, in as much as I wanted to serve my country, I said, okay, let me serve it in a different dimension, in the legislative part of, be trying to craft my country's pieces of legislation, because of course in as much as I was a civil servant and trying to come up with the policies for development, but parliament makes most of the laws of any country. So I said, okay, I've witnessed whatever was happening in my country, and then I said, let me be part of the lawmaking process. So that's why I opted to join politics. And of course, like you said, most people are cynical about politics. It's about how you look at it's about how you are looking at it. But as an individual, as a person with a passion for development, love for your people, there's nothing wrong in joining politics, because you are making sure that whatever you are going to be doing is creating an environment that is favorable for the development of your country. Sure.
Well, as you say, you're no newcomer to government. You've had a long career in the Ministry of Women's Affairs, but now that you're a member of Parliament, MP, you're in that body, that deliberative body, you know, every day. What have been maybe some of the surprises about being in that space, or what are some of the new challenges that you discovered working in this particular realm?
No, of course, I wouldn't say there are very big surprises, because it's not my first attempt to interact with Parliament. But of course, the most surprises will be maybe the environment in itself. You know, you are not used to this kind of environment, and most of the people who are in Parliament, for your information, are not women. Okay. They are men, and you know. Maybe I was lucky, because being a gender person, I was kind of used to into that kind of environment, because all my years I've been working for women advancement, gender equality. So it wasn't a surprise to me, because in any setup, in any forums that I used to attend, that was kind of the setup. But I could imagine for someone who was not used to that kind of scenario, it was going to be a very different environment, where you have you know, men by nature, they want to exercise their masculinity, and you at times you feel threatened to speak or to say something or to contribute. but it wasn't really a big challenge for me. Maybe the other challenge, the other surprise that I got in Parliament is the commitment that I have to do. For example, I'm a member of Parliament. I have to be in the House. I have to be in the constituents where my people are looking forward to seeing me very often. Mm-hmm. But in Parliament, you are sitting almost the whole week. You are in session, but you also have to go back to your people, because whatever you are going to be discussing in Parliament should be informed about what your people are experiencing, what is happening in the communities. Mm-hmm. That's what informs you for debate in Parliament. So that was kind of that was really, and it's still kind of a challenge for me to balance that kind of setup whereby my constituents are looking forward to having interactions with me, mm-hmm. and at the same time I'm supposed to be in the House. So, and their expectations, they think now I'm the alpha and omega of everything. I have to be solving everyone's problem, you know. They voted for me, so I need to be listening to everyone. And you know, during my campaign, it was like I created that kind of relationship with everyone, that close relationship with everyone. Mm-hmm. But it's quite a mammoth task. You can't continue even after election. You can't be having that personal relationship with the about 30,000 people. It's not possible. Wow. But everyone now thinks they should be having that kind of relationship, and it's really at times you feel that burnout. Mm-hmm. From those kind of, you receive calls, you receive some people want to visit you, some people want to expect they want you to be visiting them. Mm-hmm. So those are some of the surprises and challenges that I'm kind of facing.
Right.
Yes.
Lots of demands and lots of expectations.
Lots of expectations. Yeah.
Well, I want to go back to the first part of your answer there, because you kind of preempted something that I've been thinking about, which is, there's a presidential election happening in the U.S. this year. A lot of excitement early on that there was a lot of diversity among the candidates, a lot of women running for president this year. As of now, all of those women have dropped out of the race. And I think that's pretty much the norm globally. There are not that many women in elected office. Just talk a little bit about that experience, and particularly if you have any advice or reflections for women anywhere in the world thinking about trying to get into elected office.
Yes, Felix, it's quite tricky, and I'm not surprised those women are dropping from the race. Why? Because the environment, to start with, the environment. At times the environment is not very conducive for women. Mm-hmm. You know, being a member of Parliament or being a politician does not change my womanhood. Mm-hmm. I'm still a woman. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you are still a man, and we are different. Mm-hmm. There are certain demands that are still coming to me as a woman. Mm-hmm. And at times, I remember when I was campaigning, maybe I was lucky because my children were all grown up. It was just myself, and but I can imagine if I had to give some of my attention to my children that time, it was not going to be possible. And you can imagine if someone has a family, and during campaigning you can campaign up to midnight, up to maybe or the whole day, all night campaigning. But now as a woman, you want to go home. That reproductive role is still there. As a woman, you have to look for your family. You have to look for, you have to be with your husband. You have to be, and you find for quite some time you might not be able to offer to be available for these people. So you feel you're not doing your part as a family member, as a woman. So I'm not surprised that most women then will drop out. And we are also looking at the economic position of women. Like, for example, I give in my case as women in Zimbabwe, in terms of the economic empowerment of women, we cannot equate it well with at the same level with men because of our history, of course, because of our culture. The exposure to education for women was very limited. And as you know, if you have limited education, and to some extent, at certain times, women will not go to work. They will just stay at home. do the household chores, and whilst the husband goes to work. And during that time, maybe they acquire some assets, then registered in the husband's name. The woman is just at home. So you have nothing that you can bank on in terms of maybe financial resources for your campaigns. So in terms of that economic balance, women lag behind. Although I know all over the world there are efforts for the economic advancement of women, but that also contributes to women lagging behind and failing to have enough resources, because politics, you need a lot of resources for your campaign, unless you really strategize like I did. I didn't have resources, but I made sure I had enough time to do my campaign. I stretched it over a long time of maybe 5 years. So, because I knew I would not have enough resources to do a campaign in a very short space of time. So that also contribute to women. And the threat, politics is also about the physique. You find other men threatening women, and as a woman, we are fragile. They say, oh, let me just drop out. Because you will encounter, you have experiences where there will be threats from your male counterparts.
Wow.
And you are given all sorts of names. This one is, how can a woman do this? You are a bitch, you are this one, you are this thing. So all names given to you. So you say, okay, after all, what am I doing? Why am I doing that? Let me just drop out. So those are some of the reasons that women might feel they cannot just carry on with the whole process, because it's really taxing, and it's not anything that is coming in a silver platter. You really have to do some work. Yes.
Well, let's just stay on that a little bit longer, because your whole career has really been devoted to women's empowerment. Like you said, 20 years as a civil servant in the Ministry of Women's Affairs, and work in civil society before that. Has being in this role shifted your goals? How did you sort of see your work around gender and empowerment before, vis-a-vis now when you're in Parliament? Is that different, or is it evolving in any way?
No, I'm still doing my women. I'm still doing my gender work. For example, now in Parliament, fortunately, I was appointed the chairperson of the Women Affairs Portfolio Committee. So it means I'm even at a higher level, whereby I'm the person who is kind of directing the lawmaking process for our women in Zimbabwe, and making sure that everyone or all committees in Parliament are mainstreaming gender. So I'm still doing my gender, but in a different kind of dimension. And because of our roles, my role as a member of Parliament, we have 3 roles as members of Parliament. The oversight role, we oversight the ministry. That is, so I'm having an oversight over the ministry that I was working on. So I know everything that is being done in the ministry. So I think I'm in a better position now to really be directing the ministry, what it should do and what it should not do. So that one is kind of a plus. And the representation role, okay, this is the people I'm representing. And the legislation, it means I'm also at a better position to craft our laws for the benefit of our women. So I'm actually well placed now, because I'm placed in a position that for us to have that environment, it has to start with our laws. And I'm the person now in Parliament who is who has to make sure that for women the laws are favorable.
Very good. So you feel like you have a bigger lever now to do the same work. It's exciting. Great. Well, let's zoom back a little bit and just look at Zimbabwe as a whole. Zimbabwe has been through a lot of transition in the last decade. What do you see as some of the biggest challenges the country is facing? And particularly because both of our backgrounds are around environment and conservation, what do you see, particularly from the environmental aspect as well, that Zimbabwe is looking at doing?
No, like in other countries, we are all, everyone is experiencing the climate change issues. And as a country, we are not spared. we are also experiencing that where we at times we are facing lots of, unexpected kind of droughts or flooding. Those are some of the challenges that we are. But it's not like we are experiencing this in isolation. Everyone is experiencing this, and it takes us all to work towards mitigating those challenges. How are we supposed to be doing our agriculture? How are we supposed to be protecting our environment for us not to have the very destructive effects of climate change? Yes.
Very good. Well, just what for you is making you feel optimistic about the future of Zimbabwe as you take a look from this role in Parliament?
Yes, I'm very optimistic. Why? Because we are in a new dispensation, and if I look at the way we have been, reforming our laws, it's quite promising. So we are making our laws. We are amending our laws so that they are in line with. Mind you, we have a new constitution that was made in 2013, and the speed that the new dispensation that our new government is going in terms of amending our laws, it's very, it is promise. It's something that is promising, and if I also look at our current way of doing things, the technology that is in place at the moment, it gives someone hope that we are going, because with technology it means we are going to be the way we are going to do even business is different from the way we have been doing business. For example, now I can be working in my constituents whilst I'm here, and in terms of any information I can get wherever I am. So this is quite promising, and I hope as a country we are going to be somewhere. Of course, it's a process, and we are bound to be having challenges here and there, but I have a lot of hope that we will get there.
Great. Well, a large part of the audience watching this may have never been to Zimbabwe. Is there anything that you would just want to share with people about Zimbabwe and especially the Zimbabwe that you have right now that you're building?
Okay. I would like to say to you all, come to Zimbabwe. We are a beautiful people. We are a loving country. Okay, you might have heard this and that, but maybe you can get it from Felix, what it is like. We'll give you sadza and what we eat here. It's beautiful. It's unfortunate Felix didn't, we didn't get to move. He was here just for a few days. Right. I could have taken you all over Zimbabwe, and you can just walk. Zimbabwean people are very peaceful people. They are very loving. You can walk anywhere, anytime. You are free to be here in Zimbabwe. So I'm expecting you all here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chido. It's
been a pleasure
Felix. Speaking with you today, and good to see you, and congratulations and best of luck with all of your work in Parliament.
Thank you, Felix, and have a nice journey back to the US.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today. This is Chido Madiwa and Felix Bivens with the Regenerative School, and we look forward to speaking with you again soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.